In this segment, we're looking at the contract amount statistics in Tutorial 3 of the New Perspectives Access 2000 textbook. I'm working on the contract amount statistics query, and I'm going to show you just a couple of the things that can go wrong with the query and how you can avoid those. I've already created the query. You see I have it titled Minimum Contract Amount with $300, Average Contract Amount with $27,391.80, and maximum contract amount with $252,000. There is only one row in this particular query result, and now I'm going to switch to Design View. In Design View, you can see that I have brought in the contract amount field 3 times. Then I've gone into that particular column and added the new field name in front of the actual field name. Now note that the field name ends with a colon. The colon is required. If I don't put that colon in here, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to try to run this. I'm going to end up with a dialog box that tells me that the expression that I've entered in contains invalid syntax. Really what it's saying is you've got way too many fields in here and you're not telling me what to do with them. So we need to make sure that we put in the name of the field and we end the name of the field with the colon. And then after it is follows the name of the field on which I'm going to operate. In this case, it's the contract amount, and I'm going to find the minimum. Now if I run it again, it works. Now the other mistake that students often make in creating a query like this is that they'll use more tables than they need. When you're creating a query, only use the tables that you're actually, or queries, that you're actually going to use in that query. Now sometimes that means that you're going to have to use an additional table because it's a linking table. It's a way to get from, say, customers to invoices in this particular database. In order to get from customers and invoices, I have to bring in the contract table because those particular tables are not directly connected. So to get between from customer to invoice, I have to use the contract table. Okay, so the mistake a student will make is she'll bring in too many tables. She'll think one table is great, I'll bring in more. So in this case, I'm going to bring in the invoice table. And I'll just bring in the invoice table. It links it up. It sees the relationship between the two, and I'm going to run it again. Now, hopefully you'll remember that the minimum contract amount the last time was $300. It's still $300. The maximum contract amount was $252,000, and it's still $252,000. But the average contract amount was about $27,000 in our last iteration. Now it's up to nearly $36,000 because it is no longer working on just the contracts that are in the contract table. It is taking every occurrence of that contract and matching it up with invoices in the invoice table. So instead of dealing with, let's take a look at this, contracts. Instead of dealing with 64 contracts, I'm now dealing with 172 contracts. So you can see that that is going to change the average. So when you create a query, particularly one of these statistics queries like we're doing in Tutorial 3, make sure that you only use the tables that you actually need to produce the query results.